I'm Bill, and this was my 11th year and my last year. It's been a wonderful run, and it's been wonderful to have your support over the last 12 years that I've participated in the program. It's just such a powerful program that we are able to help the people in the way that we do. I want to share three things real quickly. One is Ivan, Kathy Esparza's son, was the lead on Sherry's team. And we joke that Ivan gets slowed down by the rest of us, that he could probably finish the house in 2 days if he just could get us out of the way. And instead, what Ivan really took upon himself was to teach every one of the people, many of them down there for the first time, so that they would learn how to use the skill saw if they wanted to, learn how to use the chop saw, learn how to get up there on the roof. A couple of them said, I'm not comfortable getting onto the second rung of the ladder, and they're up there on the third and fourth, hammering in the fascia, waiting for Ivan to take over, and Ivan's not doing it. He's making them go through that process and learn it and own it in a way that was really powerful, and it was wonderful for the team, and wonderful, I think, for Ivan, too, to have that opportunity to share that knowledge in the way that he did. So I really wanted to acknowledge Ivan for that. Danielle, you mentioned, as you all know, Manuel, who had run the program for years, passed away. His son, Danielle, has taken it over. And it's hard to convey the power with which Daniel's faith moves through him. He is such a humble and caring and gentle person, and the connection that he has with his community and his congregation, the connection that he makes with the team members, it is so moving. It is just so wonderful to be around him, and wonderful to know that the mission is going to continue under his care in a very effective and powerful and spiritual way. It's wonderful. I think one of the sweetest things was that we went out Thursday afternoon and visited some of the homes we had built in the past. And we happened upon one of the homes that we built 10 years ago, so in my second year. And we had trouble finding it because the road was paved, and it was never paved before. And we actually went past the house and over the hill, and I'm looking at Pastor going, we've gone too far somehow. I don't know how we got there. And sure enough, just a year and a half ago, the road had been paved. We backtracked, found the home that Salud was living in that we had built, and her two sons were there. One of her sons was 9 when we built the house. He's now 19, studying for the law. Another son is studying to be a doctor. She's adopted 2 sons one of whom is hoping to become a pastor. And she was just as warm and embracing of our visit as she was 10 years ago. Immediately had a bag of oranges for us to take with us, invited us into the home. It was so wonderful to have that connection over a decade of time and see that the work that we're doing continues to bear fruit for these families long after the time that we're there. So it was very powerful, I think, for all of us to get a chance to see her again, and also to remember, we've been there for a long time, 15, 16 years now. We've affected a lot of families, and we've affected a lot of members of the congregation in a very powerful way. And for that, again, we thank you very much.
Yes. You four have already said it so well. I would just add that we, every year, a common refrain as we talk about it is that it's true, we do go to Tijuana to give something, our time and our energy in the houses, but it's really very debatable whether we give more than we receive. Most of us feel like we receive more than we give in terms of friendship from the people we're working with, the satisfaction of helping a family, our enjoyment and fellowship with each other, but also a sense of how the Spirit of God just draws us together without regard to borders or nationality or the words we use to worship God. It's the Spirit of God, it's the Spirit of Christ that draws us together. And to be in a new situation and discover our unity with all God's people is a is a real gift in itself. And I was also impressed with the strong proclamation of faith, with the strong attitude of faith of both the families that we worked with, but also the members of the Lutheran congregation. We stayed, as you know, at a Lutheran church in Tijuana. There were about 50 people in church that Sunday, a nice crowd of people at the worship service. But as they told their stories, they talked about their lives, as they talked both about their joys and their griefs. Just a real sense of the strength of their faith. I'm aware that in my own life, and this may be true for you too, is that so much of our sense of well-being has to do with our income that we're having, or how much we have in savings, or what shape our home is in. And those things are important, and God does want us to have stability in those areas, so I don't diminish them. But talking with people who are traveling with considerably less, but have such a strong sense of faith and of God's presence in their life, is a real ministry and probably the best blessing of all for us. So I am thankful for all these years. This was the 16th year that Beautiful Savior has sent a team. I do want to acknowledge Bill one more time. We said thank you to Bill when we were down there, but Bill has served more years than anybody else. He's ahead of Gary Bowman by 1 year, I think. But the other thing Bill did is, when we first started going down, we had 3 little skimpy pages with a couple of drawings of how to build a house that you'd look at and you couldn't really figure out. Bill has crafted a manual in detail with drawings and with description of how to build a house, so we're in a lot better shape, plus all of your good spirit along the way, so I thank you very much for that. And finally, once again, I do want to thank all of you. Members, the team members paid for their airline ticket plus another $125 for adults, so the team members invested $500 of their own money each, plus many took time, a week off of work to go down there. So team members did make a significant financial commitment to do this, but the congregation of Beautiful Savior really paid for 2/3 of the cost of the building materials, the cost for renting the vans when we were down there. So Beautiful Savior provided about $10,000 through social ministry and through the Mexico dinner auction. Plus, you supported us with your prayers and with your good wishes, and that really carried us along too. So thank you to all of you for supporting and being a part of this ministry. Thank you very much.
Yeah, one more thing.
Oh, yes.
Well, if you guys don't know it, Pastor Jake is fluent in Spanish, so if you want to go down, he'll take care of you. Because I didn't know that before I went down.
Right.